If you see any grumpy person here, that's not me, but that could be me because this is my third attempt at making this video and I hate storage issues, man. But I hope, like everything in life, third time is a charm. Hi, this is Atri and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a very YouTube sort of a thing that I'm doing, but I think at 200 subscribers, it's quite a monumental thing for me, and therefore I should make the content that I wanted to make when I created this channel like 5 years ago. And it doesn't matter who and how many people will be watching. It's just that I want to make it and you gotta watch it. So this is not a podcast. I don't think so. I do have that much of bandwidth. I don't have that much of bandwidth अभी to make a podcast and all. और कौन ही सुनेगा मुझे, क्या ही पता है मुझे, कौन ही जानता है मुझे. But I know there are people out there who still want to go back to reading or they want to start reading, and I think this is one of the low-key videos that you can watch on the internet if I ever stumble upon your feed, and I can give you like 10 recommendations and you can go and start reading like at least one page before you go to sleep. So let's not delay anymore and get right into the topic. And before that, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel because दो से दो सौ एक फिर दो सौ दो फिर दो सौ तीन बनना है मेरे को, ऐसा तो है नहीं. Okay, so I think I have curated 10 books that I still can go back reading them, and the books that have really helped me, provided me some knowledge, did not waste my time, and I still love and enjoy reading them. So the recent book that I've been reading is actually of non-fiction, and I'm not a non-fiction person, but if you are someone who enjoys it, who is interested in science, who is interested in history, evolution, they can obviously go and read this. Also, this is a very famous book. The writer already has like a whole meta world for this book, for this whole topic, and that's like human evolution, Earth's evolution, basically दुनिया कैसे जन्म हुई और फिर हम कैसे आए. And the book which I'm reading is also I think is the first installment, which is Sapiens, Brief History on Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. And as I said, I'm not a non-fiction person, so it is quite understandable when I say that I bought this book in 2019 and it is 2025, and it's for the first time that I've actually covered 2 segments of it, and I have 2 more segments to complete. And I'm reading this because I am in a phase where I have to be acquainted with non-fiction articles and stuff, so kind of like it's helping me. Also, like as I said, it's a lot. It's about history and evolution, so um, it's like a good read if you want to read it in the morning, first thing in the morning. So, yep, a very easy language, easy to comprehend, a little bit boring, but that's what non-fiction is for me. A little bit boring, but as I said, very knowledgeable. And then you have, as I said, the whole meta world of human evolution that the writer has created. And I think he has recently released more books on this topic. So please go and grab it if you haven't, or if you have read the first one. The next like book which I read before this was a fiction, and it's a thriller-based fiction by a Korean writer. I'm pretty sure you have watched it on the internet, like the cover of this book. It's The Vegetarian by Han Kang. That's how you pronounce it. I hopefully think. I saw I got the recommendation of this book when I saw it on Namita Dubey's Instagram posts, and I follow her very seriously, very religiously, because her recommendations are very nice, and also like she has so profound knowledge about literature, and her diction, her vocab, such like so good to listen to. So yep. And also like I watched her recent podcast with Web of Manjal Chalchitra talks. It is also like so nice, so you can go and watch that. And also like so many recommendations she has given on the book. And like she like as I said, if you're someone who is struggling to get back into reading, I'm one of them as well. Given the fact that you were an avid reader before, I think somewhere or the other we get just lost with the trends that goes on in our generation because of internet, and you lose your sense of what you like and what you don't, and you go on with whatever everyone is reading, because nahi to FOMO ho jayega. If you are someone who enjoys thriller, then go and read thriller. Maybe pick up a book which is trending also, but is also fitting your genre, fitting your topics and stuff like that. Like I remember she was talking about some person she met in some book club who was reading about running. Like, what? सो ऐसे भी लोग होते हैं, एंड ऐसे ही आपको अपना इंटरेस्ट बरकरार रखना पड़ेगा. डू नॉट गो वे एवरी वन इज़ गोइंग. So this is something that you can always think of when you see yourself drifting away from the habit of reading. Just pick, even like not just a book. If you want to get into reading, go and read newspapers, the editorials. वो भी बड़े फन होते हैं, even though अभी newspapers कोई पढ़ता ही नहीं है. Oh, talking about the book. The book is thriller, as I said, and don't mistake the title by thinking that this is about some Korean cuisine. Because a lot of people, including me, if you go on Reddit and read about this book, a lot of people did pick up this book thinking that this is about Korean cuisine or something related to food, but it's not. Why it's called The Vegetarian, you will understand only at the end of the book. Maybe you might not also. It took me several readings of the last few chapters to understand, and then again go on Reddit to see what does it mean, because this book is very metaphorical, I would say. And when I say it acts as a it acts as a metaphor for a lot of topics, which I would also give you trigger warning before you go and read this. It does cover sensitive topics like sexual molestation, sexual harassment, violence that a child experiences when they are children, and also like parental rage. And I think मेरा टेक ये होगा कि इसका नाम वेजिटेरियन इसीलिए है. जस्ट वेजिटेरियन पर से क्यों है वो तो आपको बुक पढ़ के ही पता चलेगा, बट इट डज़ हैव अ लॉट ऑफ food oriented analogy. So it's not really wrong for you to assume the title the way you had perceived it. So yeah, it's a thriller, as I said. No, it's not a thriller, but it's more like a psycho thriller sort of. Like, it has a touch of that. It's not an easy read, so I would not recommend to this someone who's getting back into reading or just started reading. But if you enjoy literature, you can go for it. Also, like Namita Dubey only said that how this should be part of a curriculum, like an English curriculum, because how, as I said, it has so much metaphorical factors in it. So, good one, but little difficult to comprehend. The book that I read before this was also like a very nice book, The Palace of Illusion by Chitra Banerjee. I think it's a quite famous and popular book. It's Mahabharata through the eyes of Draupadi. Easy read. My favorite chapter was obviously the end, and also I don't. It's the Cheer part was not as remarkable as I thought, but the end, because I don't really remember how Mahabharata ended, even though I watched Mahabharata 10th में जब वो आया था, very iconic, but मुझे याद नहीं था. And when like the end of the chapter really made me cry because of the entire conversation that takes place between Draupadi and Krishna. So you can if you are someone who doesn't know the ending and wants to know क्या होता है end में, तो ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया एंडिंग थी. वेरी ब्यूटिफुली रिटन बाय द राइटर ऑल्सो. एंड yeah, it does. I got lost somewhere while I was reading it in the middle. थोड़ा सा ऐसा slow हो गया था, but then it's a good read. Like, I think it will take you a month or two for finishing it up if you're not as slow as me. But again, a good literature piece to enjoy if you're someone who likes to read literature and tries to find literature in every other thing that you read. So, obviously a very classy one. Just before this, I also read Ramayana Unraveled by Omega Natra. This is a non-fiction. This is Ramayana Unraveled by Omega Natra. Is a non-fiction, and I showed this in one of my vlogs also. And this is just basically a more in-depth analysis of Ramayana that Valmiki had written, and I wanted to read this because I first of all got to know about the writer and not about the book, and I got to know her via Ranveer Alavadia's podcast, and I just saw this book on some thela and I picked it up because I at that time was actually reading a lot of mythology and stuff, and I was never okay with certain parts of Ramayana and certain things that Lord Ram had to perform for whatever reason he had to. And obviously, this book does explain and help you with those questions. But I'm not satisfied with the answer. I don't think so. I will ever will be. But if you want to enjoy mythology, if you want to, so if you see both of these books, one is fiction, one is non-fiction. One is seen by the eyes of Draupadi, and the writer has also written another book, Forest Enchantment of Forest or something like that, which is from Sita's perspective, Ramayana. So I think mythology is a mystical thing. It's basically myth and logic. So आई डोंट थिंक सो यू कैन ऑलवेज से कि हाँ मैंने तो गीता पढ़ लिया, मैंने महाभारत पढ़ लिया और मेरे को सब पता है महाभारत के बारे में. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गीता इज़ it's a holy book, so it's a whole different thing. But if you want to really have fun with the story part of Mahabharata, the story part of Ramayana, and so many other aspects about our mythological scripts and text, um, you should always read as many literature pieces there are, both fiction and non-fiction, to really understand about our history. And I think mythology is part of history, so yeah. So good one. I think I will be then I'll probably read the Mahabharata unraveled part that has been written by Amiga Natra, so you can go for this. Okay, then quickly I'll move on to the next one, which is one of my books, favorite books that I keep on gifting also to a lot of people, and that's I came upon a Lighthouse by Shantanu Naidu. This is also like a non-fiction book. It's a memoir on Ratan Tata, and this is a very inspirational and motivational book. My mom really enjoyed it, and I too enjoyed it during the COVID times a lot. I had put a review also, and उसमें Ratan Tata sir ने देखा भी था. The writer also saw. So, and he's a very sweet person, very inspirational sort of a person. I to matlab follow him a lot because of how matlab like he really does not fear dreaming big. He has so many ventures right now currently that he's doing with old age people, with motorpaws, with um, I think he's also started a book club, and he did this amazing big book club event in Mumbai or in Bangalore, I don't remember. And the pictures look so nice. Like I think 70 or 80 people were there. I won't be someone who would be going there to read. I would always be like, ये क्या पढ़ रहा है, वो क्या पढ़ रहा है? But बहुत सारे things this person is doing, and he's such a fun personality. And this book is very inspirational if you are stuck in a point of life with regards to your career, or just like you want to take a big leap in your life but you are not able to. Then obviously pick this up and give yourself some time and read this, and you will really enjoy it. Also, it has such beautiful illustrations by Sanjana Desai. So it's more fun to read books with illustrations anyway, even if you are an adult. So beautiful book. I came up a Lighthouse. Amazing vocab, good English, simple read. Yeah. Now I'm gonna, I think, tell you the books that I have read long back, but I still would recommend if because I just like them. ठीक है. तो पहला तो है, एक तो सबसे फेवरेट जो है मेरा, वो मेरी फेवरेट राइटर भी है, एंड हर नेम इज़ झुम्पा लाहिरी. एंड नो, इट्स नॉट नेम सेक, इट्स अनअकस्टम्ड अर्थ. This I had read in 2016, and I had bought this for someone's birthday. But I just wanted to see if the book is nice or not. And then the moment I started reading this, I just couldn't stop, and then I never gave her the book. And also, this was my like Jhumpa Lahiri's first work that I had discovered and I had read. Even though I have namesake, but I could never complete it or enjoy it the way I enjoyed Unaccustomed Earth. It's a compilation of medium length stories, and I really loved it because when you are meeting a new person, you have like fresh mind, you don't have any expectation. So it happens with authors also, right? So, and also like these books have like very Bengali oriented stories and Bengali oriented household stories, but also like very in a very different world. All of the characters are NRIs, So it wouldn't be that hard to relate, but also like, thoda bahut the cultural difference hai. And also like why I related so much to this book was because at that time a family member, like one of my aunts, she moved to US, and she never had gotten on a plane, and the first time that she did, she directly moved out of India and shifted to US. So I was relating a lot of stories to them. I don't know why I gave you this trivia, but it does help with reading when you are able to relate or able to imagine stories. I think that's when the writer has really achieved and won with their writing, like when you are reading it per reader. I don't think so any writer should write for anybody, but if a writer is able to make you do that, I think it's a big win for them. Okay, so if you love short length stories, medium length stories, or like reading one story before bed, the short stories are a good thing, like, and you can always go. I was watching Varun Grover ka podcast, so he was like, he reads at least one story before going to bed, and he loves reading short stories, which is also something I also like reading. So this is something you can do, like in the quest of building a habit of reading. Go for short stories, and you can always check out this book. Amazing. Okay, this is actually again a fiction that I loved, but the fiction was told in a story format. So, okay, if you have not seen this book, it's Aarushi by Aviruk Sen, and I think I got this book just around the time when Talwar movie had released. And whenever I get a topic, whenever I watch a movie that is something like this, like one of the favorite movies for me is Interstellar, and I watched it like 20 times, and the 28th time was the first time I watched in IMAX. So I have done in-depth analysis of that book, of that movie, each time I watch, each time. हर बार मुझे कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है, तो every time I have to go on the internet and read something about the physics aspect side of it, or like whatever. So this is something similar to that, कि मैंने वो केस को इतना ज़्यादा पढ़ लिया था, because this case had, I think, came on the news when I was in second or third standard, and I was living in Gujarat at that time, and I still remember how in the morning in Baroda Times I saw this thing, and I was so like, I don't know, it was so something, there was something very intriguing of that case for me, even as a 7-year-old child. And when the movie came when I was in 12th standard, so obviously the quest of knowing more about it, the hunger for it also increased, and then this book also was released. And Aviruk Sen is actually one of the journalists who has covered, who was present during the coverage of this case almost the whole time. So he has, I have forgotten now what's there inside the book, क्योंकि मैंने 10 साल पहले पढ़ा है, but I do remember ki how it really, at times I used to be really scared of reading this book, because I used to read in the night, and but also like it was so hard to put the book down. So yeah, the case anyway is a very sad case, but also a very tricky case which nobody has able to crack anyway. So you can go and enjoy if pick this book and just enjoy it, because I wouldn't say ab ki yaar matlab no, you have to be little sympathetic, which I am, but also like it was the judiciary's fault, the investigation team's fault, that they were never really able to solve it. And the infrastructure that this country's judiciary and investigation team possesses. So as a reader, as an audience, you can always go and do more research about certain things that in any way you will never really find the true answers for it. And reading books and reading newspapers and stuff like that will always make you come a little closer, and also like in a more unfiltered manner. I don't know what I said, but I hope I made some sense. Yes. With the Sapien book, currently I'm also reading a Hindi book, which is Tumhare Baare Mein by Man of Call. Again, this book was given to me by one of my friends in 2021, and this is the time I'm reading it, because I just basically found a Insta caption of Man of Call. Yeah, this book is written by Man of Call, and before I was in Pune 3 months back, and I got to watch one of his plays for the first time, Trasdi. If you haven't, please go watch. He's I think doing shows in Pune currently. So I watched that और उसके बाद से मैं बहुत ही मतलब मुझे anyway मानव कौल बहुत पसंद थे because he just has such a melancholic factor within him in his aura, and I love tragedy, I love melancholy. So yeah, I found एक इंस्टा कैप्शन या एक इंस्टा वीडियो दैट ही हैड पुट अप, एंड देन इट वाज समथिंग अबाउट कि मैं प्रेम कभी अच्छे से लिख नहीं पाया, and it connected with me so much. And that same caption is there in the book. This book is basically compilation of all the things that he had written when he was not writing or publishing anything in his notes app, and that's the basically the foundation of this book. And I just want to say that if you want to know someone, like you are trying to know about someone, you want to admire someone, or you are just interested in someone, always go for the artists that they follow, the movies that they watch, the songs that they listen, because that tells a lot about their personality. And it really also like is a way to admire them. So if when you meet them, you can always talk about the things that they like or they are interested in, but never share your own, because once you share with them and they like it, फिर कुछ हुआ नहीं तो like anyway, even if it's like a friendship sort of a thing, so you will never enjoy that thing anymore. You will always have this, I told them, now I don't want to see it. मेरे साथ तो होता है, but this is just something I think I do a lot. I really go and read and watch and listen to the artist and the works that this person or that person admires and loves. And then not that I try to spike up a conversation, but it just tells me a lot about their likes and dislikes and just their personality. Even if you don't want to spy on them, you don't want to stalk their insta, you can just go and um, look at their interests. Yeah. Okay. I have last few of the books and कौन सा बोलना था मुझे? हाँ, बताती हूँ. हाँ, for an easy read but with a classic touch, with some sort of literature in it, आप पढ़ सकते हैं Ghachar Ghochar by Vivek Shanbag, and it's actually a translated work from Kannada to English. And मैंने पहली बार ना जब मैंने इसको पढ़ा था, it's a very easy has a very easy language to comprehend, and it does have a literature factor in it, but मुझे समझ नहीं आया था कि इसमें तो wow factor क्या है. And then again, I watched Namita Dubey's podcast, and then she inspired me to read it again. So I've started reading it again. You can finish it within 1 or 2 days. Let me be real, and you will feel like मैंने कुछ पढ़ा तो at least. So it is also thriller. I think it's a murder mystery, but it has very interesting characters and it has like very layered characters. So it's बहुत पतली book हो सकती है, but it does have lot of like layers within the story. So as I said, I don't really remember the ending of it, because as I said, I didn't understand कि इसमें तो enjoy करने वाली factor क्या थी as a mystery book. So I'm reading it again once I finish तुम्हारे बारे में and the Sapiens. But you can always go for it, like it's just literally 115 pages का book है, तो ये तो आप ख़त्म कर ही सकते हो. My only motive with this video is that you go and read at least एक book this mahina, so that I will also do that. So go and pick up Ghachar Ghochar by Vivek Shanbag. It's a mystery thriller and it's easy to read. And if you also don't enjoy it, then I think it's a very controversial book then, because a lot of people enjoy it, a lot of people don't enjoy it. You never know. And now I will, I think, in this video with last book, which is Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. And it's actually also like a fiction non-fiction के बीचों बीच का कुछ तो है. And oh my god, I found a bookmark. Yay! This is like basically a case, like a psychoanalysis case, like of a patient many years पहले का. It's like a old writing, and where basically the writer जो therapist है जो भी है, he actually puts the patient in hypnotism. And this is basically all these sessions were recorded in tapes and cassettes, and then they were converted into a book. So it's actually a real case of hypnotism. And basically the patient was a female patient, and she had like a lot of trauma within herself. And then the doctor was actually experimenting with hypnotism. I think he was also very new to it, and he just wanted to study that particular subject via this female patient. And then they go on to this whole journey how in her past lives, like she goes into this trance phase where she's able to really see, she could see the incidents which were the root cause of the trauma that she's experiencing in her current life. And also, like, there are such interesting things, like how your mom is your mom in this life, but she could be your daughter in the previous life, she could be your aunt in the previous life. But um, the writer tells that basically the number of people that you'll meet in this life, or you have in this life, you will always have them in all the lives that you have lived and you will be living after this. So काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग था. I read this in 10 standard, and my mom also read it, and she was the one who actually suggested it. And I hope I have given you enough insights about the books that you can read in order to go back to reading. And जो भी छोटे मोटे ज्ञान आपको मिले हैं, I hope you enjoy that as well. So thank you for joining and chiming in into this video. Please go and like and share and subscribe. I know it's a long video, but I enjoy making long video. And I'll see you next time with a better or a nicer topic. No, like a nicer video, I would say. I think I am losing my social battery. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me in this conversation, you in this conversation. Okay, bye.